Welcome, everyone, to today's Zoom class. I trust that you got your reading done for this series of discussions of the 7th grade writings of Marcy Johnson.
Professor Maledictus?
Before you ask any questions, Miss Asphalt, I must remind you that in these coming Zoom sessions, I cannot answer any more questions about the use of the word absentive in the songs of Lady Gaga. If you want to discuss your individual dissertation research, you'll have to approach me during my scheduled Zoom office hours.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Number 1 or number 2?
Just one. I think.
Yes, you may go, Miss Asphalt. But a note to the rest of you graduate students. In future, requests for potty breaks are to be made by private messaging me an emoji of a hand either pointing, for number 1, or making a peace sign, for number 2. Now then. In February, Marcy began working on a series of notes, ostensibly to her friend Vikram. In these notes are the seeds of what would drive Marcy's writing for the remainder of 7th grade. Professor Maledictus? Yes, Mr. Puddle? I assume you're referring to the Tully-Grimble theory when you suggest that the so-called check-the-box notes are the early signs of Marcy's obsession with Vikram. Yes, I am in part referring to the work of Professors Tully and Grimble on the, as you say, so-called check-the-box notes. But don't you think that the natural attention of the 7th grade socio-ergonomic imperative undermines the postmodern rhetorical discursive impetus on which the TD theory is necessarily contingent? That would depend on whether what you just said made any sense. I read it in a book. When this virus lockdown is over, you'll be cleaning erasers for your precociousness.
That's my job.
If you're good, Miss Asphalt, and finish your dissertation chapter on Latin American floss and symbolism in Marlboro advertising, you may clap the erasers at Christmas. Now, getting back to Marcy Johnson, if we may. In February, Marcy issued the first of several notes concerning Vikram's new haircut, in which she wrote one of her most resonant lines. Do you think, she wrote, that it's cool? Check the box. Yes, no, or maybe?
I'd check yes.
That's not the issue.
Have you seen pictures of Vikram? That hair is totally cool.
Indeed. Well, we have a special guest today. Marcy Johnson has skipped the Zoom meeting for her 3rd period algebra class to be with us today to discuss the aesthetic implications of her oeuvre. Marcy, thank you for joining us.
Hi. Can you be sure to send that email excuse to my algebra teacher?
Certainly. Any questions for Marcy Johnson? Yes, Mr. Puddle? Miss Johnson, the check-the-box notes are masterworks of Neoplatonic existentialist surrealism.
Yeah, okay.
But I wonder if when you wrote them you didn't have in mind an implicit return to 19th century Darwinian naturalism apropos of Emile Zola?
I was eating a Hershey bar.
Yes, and did that Hershey bar appear in notes 7 and 8 as a kind of Joyce and Welchworth in the passages about Vikram's rad dockers, that is, vis-a-vis a kind of Newtonian synthesis of futurist inequality and avant-garde Locke Joe Foles, a la Pinder, Miss Lima, and Richardson?
My thumb is double-jointed. I'll show you.
Ooh. Gross. Do that again.
Okay.
You.
I'm sorry, but I have to interrupt.
Dad, you're such a jerk.
You have to clean your room, young lady. I am not kidding. But, I didn't get to ask about the anti-disestablishmentarianistic implications of the Ronnie is a fox note from March. It's a pigsty in there. That's all for today. For next time, be prepared to discuss the post-colonial tension inherent in the Snowdon Elementary School's lunch menu.